G'day people. What do you say when you're in the bush and you get lost? Cooee! That's what you say. And if someone responds, they know you're in trouble. So the expression cooee is what we yell over long distances. Now this, as you might have gathered from the sound, is actually not an English word. It has no relation to English, Middle English or Old English. It actually comes from the Darug language, which is the indigenous language that they spoke around the Sydney area. Now, quite obviously, this language is extinct, but some people still claim descendancy from the original inhabitants. And because this language is one of the languages of the first contacts between the First Fleet and Australia, and Australian Aboriginals, should I say, it is actually recorded quite well, unlike some other languages. So, cooee, unfortunately, we are not too sure what its actual meaning is. But we know that the Indigenous Australians did use it to, over long distances, to communicate with each other. Just as a local identification of where you are. So it actually works better if you're in a valley, because, or somewhere where it can echo off and go over long distances. So if you're in a valley and you call down the actual valley, it can actually resonate over a long distance. If you try calling over a mountain, it's just not going to work. If you want to call to someone on the other side of the mountain, you have to walk around to the other side of the mountain, because they're not going to hear you, because there's too much material in the way of you and the mountain. It's just the way sound works, especially through air. So when I go into the bush, I like to yell out cooee and see if I get a response. Now, in modern Australia, this is actually used mainly just for emergencies. But considering we have mobile phones, and in Victoria in general, a lot of national parks and that probably have a mobile communication, like all through the Grampians, the Cathedral Ranges. Probably the areas that have less mobile coverage would be the alpine areas in Eastern Australia, going towards Gippsland Way, but north of Gippsland. And probably little desert, big desert national parks. So this is where this will come in handy, but Australia-wide, there's vast areas that do not have mobile coverage and are sparsely inhabited. So, if you come to Australia and you get into trouble or get lost and you have no mobile coverage, you're like cooee, but only if you know that there's people guaranteed to be nearby. Because if you're in the Simpson Desert, well, there's no point. You're probably the only person for a few kilometres, and the cooee's not going to work. So take plenty of water, petrol, and maybe 2 cars in case one breaks down. So, I hope you learned something today about an Australian expression that we like to use when you come to Australia. Learn it and use it wisely. Hooroo, have a beautiful time in Australia.